Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Testing. Oh yeah. Mm, yeah, I think it sounds better now. So from the pre-market scan, you can already see how bad the market is. A lot of the names are in a downtrend, and the ones in an uptrend are the defensive names, such as this one is a consumer staples, I believe. So market starts to pull back a little bit. I wanted this pullback long time ago. I think since late November, but that's the chop fest in the past several weeks. Still, that's too early to tell how long would this pullback would carry on. But I think from the breadth from the individual stocks actions, this is not looking promising. Looking pretty bad. So I think maybe 2 weeks ago I have a lot more stocks in this tier 2 watch list, which is for the small and the micro caps. And now I just remove a lot of them because most of them are trading less than $50 million volume daily. So I remove them, and then a lot of them I'm falling from the leading category to the others. And apart from it, I think that from the number of stocks in the lagging watch list also increased by, I think, probably nearly double. And the one that is in the leading one is starting to fade, especially the memory names that hold up and lead the market, hold up the best, are starting to have some huge volume distribution days, which is nice. Like it's like the last bit of the tech sectors that is holding up, and they are starting to fall. And I think from the past few days, I think the past few weeks, a lot of the people I saw on the internet that they are talking about buying those memory names. So they're gambling the earnings, like they are buying every dip on the memory names. Also the semis too. And I think that you can see the volume starts picking up at the top. Like since maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, the volume really expands quite a lot. And for a stock that has been went up, like MU has been went up for almost 300% in 5 months, and it's a 500 billion market cap stock is telling you something. But although I missed the whole move to the upside, but I'm not gonna buy it. Like, I'm not gonna chase it up here. And I really think a pullback is very healthy. I'm not sure whether is this the top, or just it's a long term or medium term top, or just a short term. But the pullback is always good for, like, a lot of the names are so stretched to the upside. At least for my style, I'm not willing to buy it somewhere here and somewhere here. Not really. Yeah. No entry for today. Like, this is a gap down, which is not a good risk reward play. The better one is when it's pulling back into the moving average. Like Palantir, I think I fucked this up quite badly. I actually entered Palantir on like 2 days ago. I believe it is on this. I think I entered it a bit late. I think I entered it at around 160, around here, like this breakdown candle. Yeah, my stop is around 2%, so I'm a little bit too late. And then it shows relative strength that day, intraday, when the market like starts pulling back. Like, kills is going straight down, but Palantir holds up pretty well. And then, but it never came to my stop. But I just I think I'm pretty I have too much exposure on the short side, and then took it out on, I believe, on this candle or this candle when it reclaimed the anchor VWAP. And then I think, okay, I think this thing is looking pretty strong. And I'm already have so much short exposure and then took it off. And that is another 13% downside. Yeah, this is I'm pretty upset about like taking a stock off early and not following the stop. But sometimes you may be right, sometimes you may be wrong. But in this time when I'm wrong, I'm losing maybe more than 7 hours in this case, or even higher, maybe more than 7. The TSLQ is the Tesla short. I shorted it 2 days ago. So this is the earnings day. This is the anchor VWAP from the earnings. This is the gap down on Monday. This is the daily 9 EMA. I saw this gap, I saw the 9 EMA, I saw the anchor VWAP, and then I shorted this pullback into the gap, the filled gap, and the daily 9 EMA as well as the anchor VWAP. This one I traded pretty perfectly. I am very satisfied with it. I nailed the entry. And Oklo, I took Oklo off yesterday because I want to like reduce my exposure a bit, as I'm pretty heavily shorting yesterday. And then like my approach is for the shorts is more aggressive on selling into strength, and then I just took it off after on around 72 area when it near the low of this day, of this reversal day. I just took it off, but then it has a follow through of another 10%. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Like I'm not feeling like compared to Palantir, I think Oklo I'm doing it very fine. Like you never know when a stock is going to bounce, when it's still early in the uptrend, and then I'm still having really decent exposure on the short side, so I don't need to like trail all the shorts to the very bottom of the move. So I'm still holding the SMR short. Nvidia shorting on this day here when it loses, like when it opens up, it's a gap up, and then it loses the intraday opening range. And then I think on Monday, this candle looks super weak. It failed to reclaim the 9 EMA and then closes below the 21 and the anchor VWAP from the swing high. So this caught my attention on Monday, and then I took the short on the Tuesday. ONDS shorted this one yesterday. I shorted it on the intraday, like a bear flag on a bit of a 1 minute breakdown. I shorted this one when it break down from the previous candle low. I use this candle as it's like a breakout candle, and then it fails. So I use this one, and then a really tight stop. I expected if this one is going to rally up maybe into the so it's also in the angle in the intraday VWAP, but if it's rallying up into maybe 11:15ish, then I'm going to take another try. But this one works perfectly. I think the market environment just so weak, and a lot of the retail investors are talking about this stock. They're like buying every dip, but I just saw the weakness in the distribution since a few weeks ago. I don't think there would be a meaningful bounce. Like I think the odds are smaller, and then I took the shots. So silver, this one I also traded it pretty perfectly. Like I mentioned, like in the Twitter post, I'm going to revisit if there is any rebound. And yesterday it rebounded exactly into the anchor VWAP from the all-time highs. Also the 21 EMA. So you can see on the 5-minute chart right at the anchor VWAP pinpoint. Like it's so clean. Rarely you would get this type of a clean candle, a clean rejection. I expected maybe like chopping around near the anchor VWAP for several times, but that's a very nice rejection. And yeah, on the declining 9 and 21, this time I'm definitely gonna hold longer. I'm going to hold the short at least to the 21 weekly, and I hopefully the 50 weekly too. Now you can see, you may be thinking it is like 40% above the 50 weekly, 50 EMA. But I think if this is really works out, it really works out in the end, and you could. I think it could probably happen in next week. Gold is stronger, but the same price target 21 EMA and even the 50. This time I'm going to hold it for longer. Because like the last on Monday, is it Monday or last Friday? I think last Friday. Yeah, I sell it. I sell it all near the 82 or 81 ish. I covered my shorts, but another 15% down to the 50 EMA that's my target. That's my original target, but it's going down so quick. I just couldn't help myself out. Today I'm going to sell some into strength for the shorts. I think definitely it's a good spot to sell some. I mean, buy some into strength. That we cover to cover my shorts. Buy some into weakness. Yeah, that should be the right word. If this Qs is going to have a maybe 15% correction, this would be the first time since 2008 where the Qs is the lagging one for a 15% correction. Google gaps down to the 50 EMA. Oh, the weekly looks so bearish. I'd like to see a quicker flush before covering some. I don't want to cover some here. Hopefully the IWM can reject from the EMAs and then maybe lead the weakness today. What's Dow doing? The Dow is so strong, super strong. The Qs are under the 21 weekly, SPY is under 9 EMA weekly. Any bounce into the declining EMAs would be a great spot for the short side, at least for now. So I think now I'm just chilling. If I'm underexposed, I may consider shorting the memory names, like pulling back to the 9 EMA and intraday pull back to the declining 9 and 21. I'm just going to be patiently waiting, and don't think the market is getting panic yet. Want to see a little bit more on the short side. But maybe could do something like the market doing in 2015 back then. I don't know how can I don't know whether I can survive in these type of markets. Those dips on the 50 EMA. And you think this is a clean breakout, but no, it falls right back. And then another push higher and another gap down to the 50 EMA. What a market. Okay, SNDK rallying back into the hourly EMA. Ooh, what a reclaim. Wow, I'm really looking forward how this is Silver Shaw is closing today. Will it be a trap or a perfect dip buying opportunity? I prefer the former. Rallying back into the declining 9 and 21, like trapping all the buyers and maybe some FOMO people, and then the leg down. But who knows? It could be a perfect dip buying into below the 50 EMA. Like I really believe that the memory names are getting there. I'm just not. I don't believe this will be another leg up. There will be another leg up. If it really happens, that would be crazy. Like I wonder who is buying the stock like here after I think a few days for huge selling volume. Like the buying power has been digested by a lot. If this one can go to $800, that's unbelievable. Probably could be another good parabolic short candidate if it's accelerating higher from here. But just think the odds are low. The odds are low. And if really accelerating up from here and then the downside, the crash would be similar to the gold and silver, in my opinion. It's true. Never underestimate the stock. Like how crazy, how irrational the crowd could be. Or really want to short this one. I really want to try a short, but I don't know. It could probably shakes me out. I'm not sure whether this is today's the day. Let's try a small one. Let's try a small one. I couldn't help myself out. I don't know. Let's see. Probably getting stopped out. I say no. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So if I'm getting stopped out, then like that's a good lesson. That's a good lesson. Proving to you guys that you should not be overtraded. You should not trade. I don't know. I do think we are in the right environment, like right market environment now, but definitely I think the best entry will be yesterday, but still worth a try, I guess. Yeah, let's see how the weekly range is kind of crazy. Generally, the wider the range is, the higher the probability that it's going to be topping out. Light is the strongest one. I'm going to cover some into the weakness today. I truly believe ONDS could have a flush to the 50 EMA very soon. If the market stays bad, the quicker it goes up, the faster it goes down. And I really think that the selling pressure is very strong in this stock since the early January. Man, this Palantir goes 90-degree down. Wow, it's almost a 10-hour trade that I've just fucked up. It reminds me of the Square. Now it's called the Block back in 2021, somewhere like here. Then a 70% downside. Yes, I also saw Marios, the post from Marios, and the Palantir like respecting the anchor 5FEB from this swing high so perfectly. Although there has a shakeout on Friday, on this 16th of January. Wow, couldn't believe how fast it went down. So the overtrade is looking fine. I'm not going to celebrate too early. But like the weekly structure, this is the volume expansions from the last 2 weeks. And if we're closing week on this week, we're closing maybe like down here, then I would say that's a win. After a really wonderful year, like for the dip buyers, like every dip is getting bought and the bounce is super strong, like just a touch and go every time. That's not going to last forever. After a 50% move in the QQQ, I think people is forgetting that the average return in the stock market is around 8% to 10% annually. The recent years is going crazy. Yes, I'm taking the profits. Not say very aggressively, but I do take off my Oklo yesterday. Like I cover my short 100%. And as it's now like a little bit extended from the 9 EMA, then I'm going to take profits anytime. Very soon, I believe. Hopefully, IWM can get a little bit weaker. IWM just refused to go down. But this time the Qs is losing the 21 EMA. Compared to November. I'm shorter than 180 cm. So you can say I'm short. You're correct. MCI. Yeah. If I consider this anchor 5FEB, yes. And the market environment, is the Qs is below the EMAs. The breadth is low. We don't have a deep correction since last year April. Then I think these can be the aggressive entries. It doesn't look clean on the daily, but on the hourly, I think also pretty nice. It's just above the unfilled gap. They just fill the gap and then fail at the anchor 5FEB. That is a pretty good one. At least you can manage risk pretty tight. But is it possible to short it? Oh yes, I think 1.6% stop. If you're really like doing aggressive, like entering aggressively, you can wait for you can just short it after it gets rejected and then fell below the maybe 33.20-ish. But this is a really aggressive one. Then you should take less risk if you're trading like that, like anticipating a breakdown. You should be trading maybe only like for example, if I'm trading at like 0.4 or 0.3% risk per trade and I'm using half of it. Is it possible for Nvidia to went down 50% from here? I cannot imagine. I just going back to $90. Really wanted to accelerate a bit. It looks pretty tempting to like cryptos are looking a little bit extended to the downside. But I don't think I'm going to play the parabolic longs. But for crypto is too volatile. I think 20% in just 2 weeks is not very extended. Maybe 50%, then I'm considered to buy the parabolic long. So if it's going to 45k next week, then that would be a pretty good entry. Hopefully can go to 5k. If it's going down to 5,000 next week, then I'm going to like there would be a really good risk reward. So SNDK is doing fairly well. Trying to be a little bit more patient here. You'll never know. Maybe next week the new quantum computers are like they can be able to solve the keys of crypto. I don't know what's that called, but like the security keys, the hash keys, something like that. Then it could be went to 5,000. It could be. And nothing is impossible in the market. The market could gap up maybe 5% tomorrow. It is still possible. Like actually, this wolf is it has an entry maybe today, but like the 9 is still above the 21, and yesterday's range is a little bit too wide. But like this fake outs makes the downside more promising. It looks pretty good on the weekly before the reversal. Hot 2 days ago. Yeah, I think in hindsight it's a pretty good entry if you consider this pullback into the declining. I think declining 9 on the daily and also the 50 EMA and then hourly EMAs are pretty. They are clustered together. But this type of the entry, I would say only works well when the market is working, like is going by your side. So like this is too on the daily is only under the 9 EMA. So purely shorting a 9 EMA pullback has a pretty low success rate. You have to time the market really good. You have to like time it really perfectly. So for example, if you're shorting this like a pullback into the declining 9 EMA, then you are not going to work. So I really believe like either comparing to the setup or the charts, how good the chart looks, the more important one is the market, the market condition. If the market is not right, you're not buying it right, then it means nothing for good looking charts. And if the market is right, like a fair entry can have huge follow through. Like the timing is everything. But I agree, like you can manage the risk very tight here. And the hourly chart looks great, definitely. Can we get a little bit more? I think I'm going to cover SM out today. And then I can have some cushions for trailing the other shorts for a longer period. Alcohol is down to 7% today. So it's down almost 15% from my exit. Palantir down 20% in just 2 days. Are you kidding me? We covered some ONDS around 30%. I'm feeling like that could be just the beginning of a longer downtrend, but I'm not willing to risk a very violent recovery. I'm still a bit skeptical on the short side because the December experience is so bad, so choppy. And so I'm going to end the stream when SNDK took out the day's low. I hope it is a fast flush. Just lose it, please. So this will be a sharp cut. If it loses the day low, and then I'm just end the stream directly. Please let me out, please. And I think my plan of the remaining few days is just probably going to manage my existing positions and not going to add for more, because like a lot of stocks are a little bit extended to the downside. So we're definitely not going to like shorting here. Wow, coin is just what? This is super clean. Oh my god, 40%. This is absolutely crazy. But probably, no, I'm going to, like, the next stream will be on next week. I think maybe late next week or even maybe later. Don't think I will do much, and hopefully I can hold my shorts on silver and gold to the 50 EMA weekly. See you there. I hope I'm not selling it early, but it's really hard. Like, it's really hard to like hold it to 45. Really hard. Why is this bouncing? Looks like a pretty strong bounce. So guys, see you in the next stream. Thank you.